Fourth graders have been working very, very hard. And I want you to imagine that we are on this really, really big bus in Israel. We've already arrived in Israel. They're going to be teaching you so much about the land of Israel and all the different parts of Israel. So you're going to be listening really carefully because they're going to speak slowly enough for you to listen to them. And watch the pictures because the pictures are going to show us what we're seeing in Israel.
Welcome to our Shirat Tiyul, a musical tour of Israel. This journey will connect us to the land of our people, its history and geography through some of our favorite songs of Israel. We might even meet some people from our past. So put on your backpack, grab your water bottle, and get ready to tour the land.
From Tel Aviv to Haifa, from the Galileo to Jerusalem in the center, from Beersheba to Elah in the Negev. From the Jordan River to the Galilee, from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv, from the top of Masada to the western wall. You can feel it, yes it's real.
Peter heard so to Bengaria, from Golden Fire the magic passes on. If we will it, you will see. If we dream it can be.
You hold a piece of a dream, yes you do, yes you do. You hold a piece of a dream, and it's a dream come true. A desert blooms, a dream comes true. A home that's built for me and you. If we will it, it can see. If we dream it, we will be. You hold a piece of a dream, yes you do, yes you do. You hold a piece of a dream, and it's a dream come true. Am Yisrael High, Kol Avinu High. Am Yisrael High, Kol Avinu High. Am Yisrael High, Kol Avinu High. We hold a piece of a dream, yes we do, yes we do. We hold a piece of a dream, and it's a dream come true.
Meet our Madrihim, our tour guides, as they show us around Israel and introduce us to several important leaders of Israel. The stories of the Bible connect us to the land.
From Joshua to King David, from Solomon to the Maccabees, from the early Zionists to today.
Shalom, I'm Theodore Herzl. I believe a wondrous generation of Jews will arise, like the Maccabees of the past. Some have called this a foolish dream. We we shall live at last as a free people on our own soil, safe and secure to live as Jews.
Our connection to the land is eternal.
Aaron's land of Israel, land of cloudless skies, milk and honey flow with each sunrise. Land that we were born in, where that will live free, where we'll stay no matter what will be.
Eretz Shenaham, Ilanu Emrah. Eretz Shenaham, Eretz Leolam. Eretz Ganalanu, Eretz Ganiyeh, Yehiyeh Mashiach Yeh.
Aaron's land of Israel, bordering the sea, filled with flowers and children growing free. To the north Canaan, to the south Justin, and from east to west a mere span of hands.
Eretz Shenaham, Ilanu Emrah. Eretz Shenaham, Eretz Leolam. Eretz Ganalanu, Eretz Ganiyeh, Yehiyeh Mashiach Yeh.
Land of Israel, you're the source of light, and the Torah learning faith and right. Land of Israel, we pledge ourselves to you, this dream will come true.
Eretz Shenaham, Ilanu Emrah. Eretz Shenaham, Eretz Leolam. Eretz Ganalanu, Eretz Ganiyeh, Yehiyeh Mashiach Yeh.
We live in the place where Judaism began, and we speak Hebrew, the language of the Bible.
The land of Israel was a nation of many different languages, and we needed to have one common language to unite us. Eliezer ben Yehuda worked to make Hebrew a living language. Shalom Obadia, Toklerot Otcha,
Shalom Michael, מה שלומך משפחה?
מצוין, הייתה שמחה, אחותי התחתנה.
מזל טוב, דש לעולם.
Just like the fruit of the cactus, I was born in Israel, which makes me a sabra. We sabras are known to be prickly on the outside, but sweet on the inside. In my family, being a sabra makes me special because most of my family came from different parts of the world.
But now we are all Israelis.
They left the maple and the pine for the palm tree and the vine, the cider and the wine. And they came to learn me land These are my friends who live in Tel Aviv. We want to introduce you to the cities by the sea.
You arrived in Tel Aviv. The city never sleeps. 1/3 of the population of Israel lives in the Tel Aviv area.
Imagine, in 1909, Tel Aviv was just sand dunes along the Mediterranean Sea. A group of 60 Jewish families decided they wanted a simple life away from all the noise, so they bought the land.
And these 60 families wanted to create a new community, but how could they do it fairly?
60 white shells were collected from the beach, and each family wrote their name on them. Then 60 gray shells were collected, and plots of land were numbered on those shells.
Oh, I get it. The families and the plots of the land were matched. What a fair way of starting a community.
This was called the shell lottery. Imagine, Tel Aviv, a city by the sea, was created by using shells off its beach.
I love spending Shabbat afternoon on the beaches of Tel Aviv. You can always meet your friends.
Well, my favorite place in Tel Aviv is Dizengoff Street. There are lots of cafes, shopping, and art galleries.
Do you know there are 2 universities in Tel Aviv?
Israel Philharmonic Orchestra is there.
Not
bad for a city set up by 60 families about 100 years ago.
Unto Avram you issued a command. Lech lecha, and I'll show you a new land. And a covenant was sworn that a nation would be born, and be good to be numerous as the sand.
Or Hadash, and a new light was shine. All Zion, right here on Jerusalem. Bring us home to the land of our people. Or Hadash, and a new light will shine.
Driven away for hundreds of years. In 1,000 lands we cried 1,000,000 tears. With our hearts turned toward the skies, we looked homeward with our eyes and prayed that our return would soon draw near.
Or Hadash, and a new light will shine. All Zion, right here on Jerusalem. Bring us home to the land of our people. Or Hadash, and a new light will shine.
And now, how glorious it seems. We come home to the land of our dreams. Over the mountains, the sun rises high. It's a new day, it's our homeland, it's our time.
Or Hadash, and a new light will shine. All Zion, right here on Jerusalem. Bring us home to the land of our people. Or Hadash, and a new light will shine.
Everyone back in the bus. We are driving to Haifa. Along the coast, there are many historical sites such as Caesarea, the ancient Roman port, and Crusader fortress.
Israel, you have it all.
Tel Aviv and Haifa are Israel's largest coastal cities. They are both beautiful, but as nice as Tel Aviv is, I'm glad I live in Haifa.
Part of Haifa is built on a mountain, Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel goes back to biblical days and is the story of Elijah and the prophet.
From my balcony, I can watch the big ships in Haifa's port. When my friends visit, we like to imagine where each ship is sailing.
Haifa is also the place where many of the first immigrants after 1948 arrived. Many Arabs and Jews lived and worked together for many generations.
While traveling in the countryside, I sing, I sing. While traveling in the countryside, I sing along. I do not know and do not miss a thing, a thing. A happy singing, knowing not a thing goes wrong. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Shalom, my name is Shoshana. I met your Matrihim last year when they came to visit their relatives. I'm so glad I can show you around northern Israel.
Look up there. As you cross the Galilee in Hebrew, you see the mystical city of Sfat, high on a mountain.
It is one of the 4 holy cities in the land. Many Spanish Jews settled in Sfat after they were forced out of Spain in 1492. Today, many artists live there.
The talit I am wearing for my bat mitzvah came from Sfat.
I bought beautiful candles I light every Shabbat.
We walk down the cobblestone streets and look at the artist gallery.
We prayed at one of the small old synagogues there.
What a wonderful place!
Let's continue with our travels. Along the way to Tiberias, we can stop at Lake Kinneret and go water skiing or fishing.
Sometimes go a-traveling alone, alone. I sometimes go a-traveling alone, just me. And in the fields and on the hills, the wheat is sown. And in the fields and on the hills, it's flowing free. Follow me, and rock away. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Sharani, and rock away. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah,
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 hallelujah, hallelujah.
hallelujah, hallelujah.
Shalom, my name is Zari. Meet my friends, Matitiach and Chaim Yaakov. We live in Degania, a kibbutz in northern Israel.
What is a kibbutz?
It's a village where people share property and live and work together. Kibbutzim have played an important part in building our country.
The early pioneers
Halutzim.
started the first kibbutz, Degania, in 1910. This land was also purchased with JNF money. Many of our early kibbutzim were agricultural. The different kibbutzim in the northern part of Israel helped integrate new immigrants, teaching them Hebrew.
At my kibbutz, I have a dairy and hen house and a factory. My kibbutz has an animation studio and another one makes tools for cutting diamonds.
Zai, did you know that some of our strongest leaders and soldiers grew up on a kibbutz? Let's go back in time and visit with one famous member.
Shalom. I was born in the Ukraine and my name is Golden Beth. When I was 8 years old, my family and I moved to the U.S. and I grew up in Wisconsin. My husband and I moved to Israel and joined the kibbutz. I was elected to represent the kibbutz and later was one of the 24 people who signed Israel's Declaration of Independence.
Hold up!
old. History is everywhere. King David made Jerusalem the capital and religious center of Israel.
King Solomon built the first Beit HaMikdash on the Temple of Mount Moriah. It is a spiritual center for many Jews.
The old city of Jerusalem is divided into 4 quarters: Jewish, Armenian, Christian, and Arab. The streets are narrow and lined around homes, shops, churches, museums, and mosques.
The western wall of the Temple Mount is a holy place for many Jews. Jews from around the world gather there to pray.
The new city of Jerusalem grew quickly with the start of the Hebrew University. New housing for new immigrants created new neighborhoods. I'm interested in politics, and since we're in Jerusalem, we should take a stop at the Knesset, the home of Israel's government. Jerusalem has many different groups of Jews who made Aliyah to Israel, each bringing their unique customs and traditions. I'd like to stroll around Ben Yehuda Street, visit the cafes, and eat falafel.
I'd love to visit the shuk with my family.
What is a shuk?
A shuk is an outdoor market that has shops selling fish, eggs, fruit, meat, baked goods, spices, and lots of other goodies. It's a very busy place on Friday morning.
That sounds like fun.
Most of the buildings in Jerusalem are built from Jerusalem stone. The stone looks almost golden in daylight, since it gives them a beautiful pink glow. My grandfather says that each stone in Jerusalem has a story to tell. I think he means that because the stones are very old, they have seen history being made.
The other trees will stand in silence upon the hills of dawn. To hear the voices of the city as bells of evening chime. The shepherds landing from the temple to call the world to prayer. The shepherd pauses in the valley and peace is everywhere.
Yerushalayim shel zehab, v'shel nehoshet v'shalom, halom leho shirayim, ani kinor. Yerushalayim shel zehab, v'shel nehoshet v'shalom, halom leho shirayim, ani kinor.
My name is Etabela, and this is my brother Haim. My parents and Haim came from Ethiopia, but I was born here in Beersheba, right in the middle of the Negev desert.
The Negev is in the south, is the largest area of land made up of wilderness, mountains, and cliffs. It makes up half of our country.
Beersheba, the capital of the Negev, goes back to biblical days of Abraham and Sarah. Many new immigrants from Ethiopia and the former Soviet Union settled here, making it the largest city in the Negev.
I like living in the desert because while the days are often hot, The nights are usually cool and comfortable.
In 1948, David Ben-Gurion,
Israel's first prime minister,
established stable care in the Negev.
My dream is to make the barren wilderness of Negev bloom and become fertile. My wife and I retired near Beersheba to encourage families to move into the Negev.
When I grow up, I plan on attending Ben-Gurion University right here in the Negev. It's a world leader in technology and water management research.
Here we are at the Dead Sea, the lowest spot in the world. No fish or plants can live there because of the saltiness of minerals, but you can float in the sea. After you float in the Dead Sea, get ready for a long drive to Eilat.
In biblical days, King Solomon built a port, and Moses and the Israelites journeyed there on their way to the Promised Land.
Today, it is an important port city and also a wonderful vacation spot. Shalom, my name is Karen, and these are my sisters. As we drive back to Tel Aviv, let me tell you about the Israel Defense Forces. We have a citizen army. Everyone at 18 must serve a minimum of 2 years. Our father is a colonel in the Israeli Defense Force. I am proud of him because he works hard to keep Israel safe and secure.
But we worry that our father may be hurt if there is a terrorist attack or another war.
We hope that such things never happen again.
Not here or in any other country. Since the state of Israel was established, there have been many wars and many great leaders defending our country. Shalom. You might recognize me. My name is Moshe Dayan. I played a major role in defending our country in 4 wars, including the 1948 War of Independence.
Shalom. I am Yitzhak Rabin. I became Prime Minister of Israel after Golda Meir. I received the 1994 Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating peace with the Palestinians. We hope that someday, soon, there will be shalom.
Tefillah, Sheolah, Kol Shabbat Te'alaya, V'etem Yirkat Shalom Mishmar Aleinu, Harem B'Tam Elaham, Shv'etolei
7 Arab countries declared war on Little Israel, the Jewish state, just a few hours after it was established.
We were 650,000 Jews against the rest of the Arab world. No Israeli defense force or air force.
We were only a small group of stubborn people with nowhere to go, and now we are a beautiful country.
A small army and a powerful air force and navy.
We are also a high-tech nation. Intel, Microsoft, and IBM have all developed their businesses here.
AOL Instant Messenger was developed in Israel by 4 young Israelis.
Voicemail technology was developed here.
The cell phone was developed in Israel by Motorola. USB flash drives were invented here.
The camera phone chip technology was created in Israel.
Our doctors have won important prizes in the medical field. Our scientists invented the first computerized no radiation tools to find breast cancer.
They also invented a small video camera chip that can fit inside a tiny pill, and when swallowed, helps doctors diagnose cancer and breast and digestive disorders.
We turned the desert into a prosperous land.
We developed an irrigation system that minimizes the amount of water used to grow crops and is helpful to African nations. We sell oranges, vegetables, and flowers all around the world.
We launched our own satellite. In fact, we were one of the few countries in the world that ever put something up into space. In 1984 and in 1991, we airlifted 22,000 Ethiopian Jews and brought them safely back to Israel.
So let us lift our heads up high and remember.
And now, look at us, the Bible nation. From slavery in Egypt, we are still here, still speaking the same language.
Anaknu Am Yisrael. We are the nation of Israel.
Maybe our enemies don't know, but we are an eternal nation. As long as we keep our identity, we will stay eternal.
So sorry we're not worrying, complaining, crying, or fearing. Business here is the center. Fine.
Tell all of your Jewish friends everywhere in the world, you are all part of our force to keep our existence.
We are Jews. Anaknu Yehudim. We'll survive. I am alive. And both my eyes are turning to the light. And yet we sing. Our voices ring. With words our fathers sang so long ago. I need
PowerPoint, and thank you for all of our wonderful teachers.
Please stand up for the House of God. Please stand up for the House of
wonderful Madrachim, our fourth graders, for showing us around Israel. And thank you so much for being such a good audience, and I hope you learned all kinds of new things about Israel.
It's not an accident that these holidays are all connected, and I'm very pleased that at our school we do teach our children that these holidays are connected. There would not be a state of Israel if it wouldn't be for the sacrifices of the soldiers and others that helped establish the state. And that's why yesterday had to lead into today. And even though there is a historical and a religious and a biblical connection to the land, unfortunately the world may not have been as kind and generous in helping to establish the state if Yom HaShoah wasn't part of all of this. And that's a great sadness, but it is part of the reality. And so I am glad, again, that our children learned these 3 holidays, and that our parents share in these holidays, and that we can thank the children for teaching us all of these holidays. So thank you for being here.